Council members, I do appreciate your time here and allowing us to come and address you guys. Appreciate all the public here as well, both citizens and visitors to Bedford. I'd like to begin by first of all saying that yes, I too am opposed to the daytime curfew ordinance. And as the last gentleman pointed out, maybe then we need to look at the nighttime curfew too, but I'm specifically here about the daytime. But first of all, I'd like to start off with the fact that it does provide actually a lot of negative impacts to Bedford. First of all, it has a negative impact on the families. It impacts the families whether they're public schooled, privately schooled, or homeschooled. This ordinance affects every single one of them. And I believe from what I've heard and what I've seen in the past, you've heard from each of these segments. Not just one or two, but all three. We've even heard, I watched the video from about, I think it was 4 weeks ago, the night you guys had all the ice. I saw a senior citizen that, honestly, I don't believe he has any children in school. Maybe his grandkids are, or maybe they're already out of school. But even our senior citizens are opposed to this ordinance, and they don't have as much of a stake here, as families with young children do. Also, it has a negative impact on the Bedford economy. If you look at our business and tourism, which we want to draw new businesses here, we want to retain our businesses. It provides us a retail sales tax base, it provides income, provides vibrance, and it draws people into the community of Bedford, into our city. But when the government, the local government in this case, becomes oppressive to the businesses, as this ordinance makes it, because it does put the onus on businesses, on the managers, owners, and employees, as written in that ordinance, it becomes oppressive to them. When that happens, businesses may very well leave, which means that we lose revenue. Why will they leave? Well, because families are hesitant to come into Bedford during those hours. It drives their business away. When business goes down, they're going to go to another neighboring city, perhaps Hearst or another city that does not have a daytime curfew ordinance, so that their business is not negatively impacted. So we see that the business and tourism of Bedford is negatively impacted, which also leads to the fact that the image of Bedford is negatively impacted. Businesses won't want to come here, and businesses will leave. Honestly, I don't think anyone here, even anyone on the city council, I truly believe you guys don't want to see that happen. The question now becomes, what are the benefits? Who benefits from this ordinance? From what I've seen and heard, the only people that have spoken in favor of this ordinance and the only people that seem to benefit from this ordinance are people in the HEB-ISD, the school district itself, not the children, not the families, not the citizens, not the businesses, not even the visitors to Bedford. Further negative impacts on the family. If we look at this ordinance, if this ordinance were pursued and a family were fined $500, or even $200, they have to pay that fine. That money has to come from somewhere. And with the economy in the shape that it's in right now and the way that they're projecting that it may go, that money that they pay has to come from somewhere else in that family's budget. This is a direct negative impact on the children. We're taking the money away from the kids to give it to the school board. And that, to me, is unacceptable. I also believe it has negative impacts on the rights of the people. This ordinance, I believe, is duplicative because we already have a state law that addresses truancy. It's unnecessary. It's burdensome, as I've already pointed out. It is, I believe, oppressive. And if we were to have any type of ordinance, which I'm not in favor of, I believe this one is poorly written because it provides defenses rather than exceptions or exemptions, which leads to a presumption of guilt until you prove your innocence. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is in direct opposition to the way this country is founded. It violates one of the basic fundamental beliefs of the United States of America. So yes, I do believe that it is poorly written in that sense. It puzzles and concerns me, ladies and gentlemen, that after 3 months of steady input from the public against this ordinance, in opposition to this ordinance, from citizens, from visitors, from businesses, and yes, I've even spoken to some business managers here in Bedford and told them about the ordinance, and they said that they are against it. They're really, honestly, quite shocked that it was even in place. They didn't know it. So it really puzzles me that after 3 months of steady input in opposition to this ordinance, that people who contribute to the economy, that people who are citizens that you represent, that you refuse to budge on this issue. And while I'm sure that this was drafted with the best of intentions, it opens a door, ladies and gentlemen. It opens a door to power, broad power, which can be abused in the future, if not now. You know, I hope that we can trust each and every one of you and all of our police officers, that they wouldn't abuse this power. But it does open the door, a broad door to power. And something that I've learned over the past number of years is that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I ask you, urge you, and beg and plead that you please repeal this ordinance so that we do not allow this door to remain open, that we retain our businesses, and that we respect the wishes of the citizens and businesses and visitors to Bedford. Thank you.